Hello. Okay. Stuart, what were your thoughts on the innings really, and how it was wrapped up in terms of the decisions that were made? Did everything go as it should have gone?
I mean, I think if we'd have gone the full 40 overs, it would have been a fantastic game of cricket. That's the first thing I'd like to say. I mean, 174 was a very competitive total. I thought we played very nicely to do that. And you see from our side, it's quite bowler heavy, and that's a strength of ours. So we'd have had a lot of options through that middle period. After the first, 5 and a bit overs, both sides were very similar. We were 50 odd, I think, for one in the power play. So we can feel a little bit aggrieved to have that as a loss against our name, because I think it would have been a very tight game. To be as polite as I possibly can be, I think it was distinctly average decision making, keeping us on after the first lightning strike in the fourth, at the start of the fourth over, keeping us on throughout that over. It's obviously given us a loss, but it's not sour grapes, because I think both sides were uncomfortable being out there with such heavy lightning being around. I'd asked the umpires for a bit of clarity on the decision making at the end of the game, and they said they didn't see the lightning and didn't feel like it was a threat. I mean, I can guarantee from our team we felt like it was a threat, and with a batsman pulling away from a delivery, the 4.2 overs, I think the batsman saw it as well. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game of cricket, so I wouldn't be putting the crowd and players' safety under threat. So personally, if I'd have been in those shoes, I'd have had the players off the field, but it's not the way it's worked, and unfortunately, we've got a loss against our names. It doesn't particularly feel like a loss, because we've done a lot of really good things in that game, and I genuinely believe if it had gone the full length, we'd have stood a fantastic chance to winning.
Did you feel like the umpires actually let the players down on a health and safety point of view, that kind of thing?
I think you should have an umpire in here for some clarity, to be honest. I think there's some questions that need asking to the ICC for clarity. I mean, as I say, it's all very well wanting to finish the game so you can tick a box, etc. But players' health and safety not just players, crowd safety is very important, and that to me felt very threatening lightning. But so it doesn't really change what we have to do now as a team. We can take some real good things from today, and we have to win our next 3 games. It's simple, but as I say, it's not sour grapes. I know the New Zealanders felt exactly the same. When the umpires got together and kept saying it's fine, Baz and I had a discussion about taking our players off the field because we didn't agree.
Stuart, you said you spoke to the umpires after the game. Are you minded to ask the ECB to lodge a formal complaint about what happened with the lightning?
I say it's not really. I've not really had time to think about something like that. I'm not sure what we could gain from that particularly. But as a game of cricket, I mean, the game of cricket, weather happens. That's part and parcel of it. As a team, we feel slightly hard done by the decision making today, but sometimes you just have to grin and bear it. But I say it's a loss against our name, but it's a hard one to take, because I think we stood a very good chance in that. As I say, the power play scores were very, very similar. It was always going to get harder to score when the fielders went out. A couple more wickets was obviously a fantastic opportunity for us. So, as I said, to be at my politest that I can possibly be, I thought it was a distinctly average decision for us to still be out on the field.
I'll ask one more question actually. Duckworth-Lewis is never good to lose on Duckworth-Lewis. It's a method which is essentially for 50 over cricket. Do you think it's fair for a T20 game to be decided on it?
I don't think it works particularly in T20 cricket. I look back to the 2009 T20 World Cup. I think the West Indies, we lost to West Indies, Duckworth and Lewis, and similar in 2010. So I don't think it particularly works for T20 cricket. It's not been adjusted quite right, but it seems to work well in one-day international cricket. As I say, the weather's part and parcel of the sport. When it rains, you simply can't play. But in my opinion, and my team's opinion, and everyone else's I've spoken to opinion, it was not right for us to be out there when the lightning was striking.
Stuart, when you talked to Brendan McCullum about the possibility of going off, why did you decide to stay on in the end?
Well, I mean, that was when they got together for the last time, and then the rain came. So you can't do anything about the rain. But as I say, it was more from the fourth, when the first lightning strike came in the start of the fourth over. I think there were 4 or 5 strikes in that over that obviously was affecting the game and was a bit of a danger. But there's nothing we can do about it now. We just have to go and win our next 3 games. And the way we've played tonight, I think there's certainly a possibility we can do that, because we're still lacking that one player to go on and get a big sort of 60 or 70. But we've got some guys firing, starting to fire, and that's a good thing with momentum. I mean, the World Cup we won in 2010, we lost on Duckworth and Lewis the first game, we scraped through against Ireland, then we won our next 5 games to win the World Cup. So we have to have that belief that that can happen again.
Stuart, at 4.2 overs, were you aware of the maths of the situation?
Treddy ran over and said something about a score. To be fair, I wasn't aware that there was heavy rain coming our way, but we knew they needed 40 odd, I think, for one. So it was very clever batting by Baz to target that and get his team over the line. So credit to New Zealand for getting the win. But as I say, it would have been nice from a player's point of view and a cricket fan's point of view for that game to go the full distance, because I think it would have been an exciting one.
As frustrated as you are, is there not part of you that can see that the umpires might have been right to seeing as no lightning struck the ground or any damage was done? It's
rather more luck than judgment, I think, isn't it? You look at golf. There's a hooter goes and they all clear sort of half an hour before the lightning strikes. So I personally wouldn't have taken the risk of that happening. You've seen it in football where lightning strikes the pitch and players have hit the deck. So it was certainly close enough. It's by the look of your hair, it looks like it struck the media box.
Stuart, can I just go off a little tangent about Craig Keyswetter coming over and the loss of Luke Wright? How good a chance has Craig got of actually playing a part? I mean, obviously he's a guy who does clear the ropes. Has there been a little thinking by bringing him over here that you might put him straight in and he's got a really good chance of playing?
I mean, he gets here Monday, I think, so obviously we don't play till Thursday, so he's got a good couple of training sessions. We know he's a powerful striker. He can bat in the top order or do that position that Wrighty would have filled at number 7, being a power hitter there. So disappointed to lose Luke. He had a grade 1 tear and was always a little bit sore, but went to play a sweep shot yesterday and hurt it more. So it's a shame he's going home, but I'm pretty happy with the balance of the side at the minute. We're quite bowler heavy, but that means if we do get a good score on the board, we've got some really good options to use through the middle period. So while the wickets are still quite fresh under lights, I think the seamers are going to come into play. I mean, that was as good a sort of bouncy quick deck as you'll play on in this part of the world. So we had some good options for there, and with the dew it looks quite hard for the spinners to make a real impact, and we've got 2 spinners in our side anyway, so I'm pretty happy with the balance of the side, but he's obviously a powerful sort of exciting hitter if we need him.
Okay, thank you very much.